Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming here today. It means so much. It is a pleasure to be here at Next Jump. And it is an honor, really, to be a part of one of your first Fridays. I know this is a new thing that you've developed, and I'm absolutely excited to be here. One of the things I want to talk today is creative muses for inspired work. Creative muses. It's an interesting duo of two words, right? Because creative sort of means muses to many people, right? But what is it to be a muse? So, P.S., I'm going to be asking y'all lots of questions today. I am not a TV. And here's the other thing. This is the first time I've ever actually led this particular discussion. So I'm learning with you a little bit today. So I'm very much open to questions. And really, I'm very open to you answering my questions. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you again, what do most people think a muse is? Yes.
Something that inspires.
Yes, exactly. Something that inspires. More specifically, usually it's something that inspires artists. So I'm interested in looking at creative people who might be a part of like the traditional fine arts. Those sort of fine arts people, how can they be muses for what you do if you're not necessarily a part of the fine arts world? Got it? So creative muses for inspired work. And my thought is, let's start from here. If I had to ask you, who is the most important person in the theater, who would you say? Who would you say? Like, if you had to think about it, like, if you go see a play, a Broadway show, like, who's the most, Nathan Lane? Yes, great, that's an answer.
Hal Prince.
What's that?
Hal Prince, only 27 Tonys.
Hal Prince, great. So this question is really about what would be the title of those people?
Actor.
Actors, great. Any other thoughts? Producers, for sure, right? Director, for sure. What's that? Directors, writers, exactly. So let's put a pin in that. Remember that. Okay, so now if I go to the next level, which is, so name me some famous actors. Famous actors. Tom Hanks, of course. George Clooney. Robert De Niro. Oh, yes. Who else? Bradley Cooper. Lovely. Now, let's see. Directors. If I asked you to name some famous directors, who comes to me? Scorsese, listen, yes. Who? Stanley Kubrick, yes. Steven Spielberg, yes. We could go on all day. And Spike Lee, who else? There's so many. Woody Allen, so many great directors. And then if I asked you to name a famous writer, who would you say? Shakespeare, yes. Who else would we say?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, thank you. What's that? Oh, yes, Aaron Sorkin. He's wonderful. Who else? Christopher Durang. Thank you, my theater person. Yes. Now, if I asked you to name a famous stage manager, who would you say? Right? A famous stage manager, we don't know. So that's who I'm interested in looking at today. Stage managers. This is a usual shot of what a stage manager looks like. To me, a stage manager is one of the great unsung heroes of the theater. So real quick, my name is Cassandra Freeman, and I work for GK, Training and Communications. The G and the K stand for genuine know-how, because we are committed to teaching you tangible know-how skills to make you more effective in your life and at your work. We work with Fortune 1000 companies, nonprofit organizations, and academic institutions. I'm also an actress. I've worked with people on the big screen like Denzel Washington, Chris Rock. I've worked with Spike Lee, Jane Fonda. I've been very lucky to work with many people in film. And I've worked on TV. I've been in many TV shows, and I've done many plays off Broadway. And I'm also a teacher at Fordham University, where I teach collaboration, where I teach actors, directors, playwrights, and stage designers how to come together and to create artistic visions through collaboration. And I used to have a nonprofit called the Cassandra Arts Project, which is about teaching artistry and creativity to kids, specifically to orphans of the Rwandan genocide and people who lived right outside of the Congo, to teach them how to collaborate and how to use their experience for the best. So that's a little bit about me. So in general, I'm all interested about creativity, communication, and collaboration. The theater, I think, I could do really a 5-point presentation, like 5 days long worth of great people who are creative muses, because they are very effective in the theater world, how they end up getting a job done. Just think about it. It's a lot of project management skills, basically. And there's always a vision that must be executed. The other thing I love about being from the theater is that we are actually like extreme radical collaborators. We are extremists to that point. So much so, just think about it. When you hear an actor win an award, they always say, thank you so much for this award, but it really wasn't me, it was the script. I mean, these words were brilliant. And then you hear the writer, and the writer says, thank you so much. I mean, the writing, I put my heart into it, but really it was the actor and the director who really gave breath to my vision. But then you hear from the director's like, thank you so much, you're right, I did a lot, but really, I'm so lucky we got some great actors, and basically we got a great script. But then really, the director only looks as good as his sound department, as his costume department, as his stage designers. We all literally live off of each other looking good. So if you do your job really great, I can look even greater. Actors usually say they know if they're supposed to do a project if the writing is good. Well, here's the funny thing about a stage manager. Stage managers are interested in everyone doing their job beautifully, and they take it on as, if you do your job well, then I did do my job well, but if you drop the ball, they take it on personally. So if all the world's a stage, then the stage manager must be God. So let's just think about this for a second. What does a stage manager do? Basically, a stage manager is taking the director's vision and turning it into reality. Reality. Truthfully, it's quite a job. And one of their favorite sayings is, I've got it covered. I got it. So what does a stage manager do? I can't remember everything, so I actually have it printed out here. Stage manager is the key to the assistant to the director. It also serves as the assistant to the designers, the technical director, costume shop supervisor, director of the theater, conductor, and all of the other staff positions. Also, stage managers are about scheduling and running rehearsals, communicating the director's wishes to designers and craftspeople, coordinating the work of the stage crew, calling cues, overseeing the entire show. It goes on. This is not everything that they do. So basically, a stage manager's job is to look under every rock and to see every challenge that comes up as an opportunity to be solved. If you ever see that movie, Shakespeare in Love, in that movie, they keep saying, the theater, how will the show go on? It's a mystery. They do that over and over again, but I don't think it's much of a mystery. It's really about having a great team of people who are about accountability and integrity. We're going to show you examples later of people who take on their jobs like stage managers. Also, stage managers, because their expertise level they have to have a little bit of knowledge in every single department. They're also the people to have the greatest ability for innovation because they're the most efficient people. I always like to say, when I've worked with stage managers, they're some of the most calmest people, but they talk to you as if whatever's going on in your life, it is the most important thing. So I might say, hey, stage manager, my skirt is so long, my heels are high, and you got me going up 4 steps. I don't think it's possible. I'm never gonna make my cue on time. And she'll say, I hear you. I'm gonna go talk to the director for you. But she handles it like it's a very serious job, because it is. We're talking about my safety. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm just being a silly actor. Maybe I should just make it work. And she's like, no, you're gonna have to do this 8 days a week. I'm gonna be back. Then she goes and she talks to the director. And when she talks to the director, she speaks as if she is speaking for me on my behalf. Listen, we have an issue with Cassandra. This is the issue. The reason I bring this up is that she never colors how she feels about whatever the circumstance is. She brings it on as, this is my job to let you know what's happening. Can we do something? Yes, great. Now I'm gonna go talk to the costume department. Costume department, what can we do? Great. And then she will always come back to the source to let you know, we've handled it. These are some choices. What do you like? It makes you feel taken care of, and it makes her look bigger than her job description, which is why I say it's almost like she's like a god. So to be more specific, in many companies, not here at Next Jump because you're such an innovative company already, but in many companies, people look at their job sort of like an assembly line, don't they? They're like, hey, that's not my job. Hey, I'm only here to look at this one part of the system. Hey, you can go talk to this person, but rarely do people actually pick up their job and say, I hear what you need. I know who I can talk to about that. I'm gonna go take care of it, and then I'm gonna come back. It's rare when that happens. We'll come back later to talk about people who actually make that happen. So basically, stage managers are interested at looking at all these different parts that are very separate, bringing them all together so everything can work beautifully, sort of like clockwork, which means they're extremely flexible people, which is something you must be as a stage manager. So in a second, we're going to cue up a tape here. And this is a tiny, tiny view, 1 minute of a life of a stage manager. What you're about to see here is a gentleman by the name of Mark Stevens. He's a stage manager from San Diego Repertory, and he's calling a show for Hairspray. Now, this is a very simple show to call, actually. And I say simple only to mean that for this show, the things that are most important to pay attention to right now are the lights and maybe the stage. When he says cue, just to be clear, what do you think cue means? What's that? You're on. You're on, yeah. It's a signal to mean get ready, stand by, go. There's your cue. So I just want us to look at a minute, and then I want to sort of reflect on what we saw, and then we'll move forward to maybe into 2 improv games to highlight this even more.
76, spot 1 on Tracy. Go. Blindfold, go. Spot 1 stamina to dim down to 25% with light 78. Light 78, spot 3 on Amber. Go. Light 80, spot 2 on Penny. Go. Stamina lights 82, spot 1 coming back to 100% with 82. Like you 82, spot 1 to 100%. Go. Stand on 84 to 86. Standing by to cue Council Girls. And 84, go. Like you 86.
Great, thank you. So that's a very hard clip to look at and not want to sing along with Hairspray. So good job for not singing along. What stands out to you, or what do you notice? Anything at all?
Seemed very calm.
Seemed very calm, right? That to me is one of the most important things about what he does. We've all probably worked in many different jobs at this point, and it's interesting to see how people handle stress. And depending on how you handle stress, you sort of take that down the ladder to everyone else who works for you. It's nothing like working for someone, you're like, oh my God, we've got to get this done because you know they're going to be crazy. Versus working for someone who's like, you know what, you know he's going to take care of it, let's make sure we take care of him too. There's an assignment that I usually make my kids do at Ford where they have to call their own show for 1 minute. And believe me, if we had a class together, we're like, now you go home, find 1 minute of your favorite video, anything, and come back and call it. And it's beautiful to see because a lot of it goes like this. Calling platform 2. Go, go. Okay, I just go back. Cue number 14. Go. And then some people are like this. Calling cue number 15. Girl should be in the stage. Go, talk it. Go. Oh, it's like, it's almost watching a Simpsons episode, right? It's a lot of, oh, dang it, dog. So people often ask me to come in and help them with their confidence. I say the way you achieve confidence is by knowing exactly what you're going to do and knowing you can deliver it each time, and then you never have to worry about being confident. It's because everything's been taken care of. For him to call a show like this, that means he had to take at least, bare minimum, a week and look at each piece of the minutia. Even for myself to come in here today, to make sure my PowerPoint presentation runs well, to make sure my video runs well, not only do I show up early, I make sure I run it over and over again on my computer, and then I come here and I make sure I run it through here. It's about making sure every stone has been turned over to make sure if there are any issues, they're taken care of. Perfect. Today, I actually wrote Stephanie twice last night, twice this morning to make sure she got my PowerPoint. You know how many she got? 0. 0. And so thank goodness I came here early so we could fix it. But most people, they wait to the very last minute and then everything falls apart. Stage managers are about looking forward. So I want to try an exercise.
Like you said.
It's the Blindfold challenge. I need 2 people, 2 brave souls. You don't have to be that brave, really. It's a very fun exercise. Listen, Maxine, yes, good job, Maxine. Everybody clap for Maxine. I met Maxine a year ago. I spoke at a Women's Leadership Summit, and Maxine was there, so it's great to see her again. And I need a second person. Oh, no, one at a time. Quick, wait, Nicole, come. Yes, come. Good job, Nicole. So let's see, one of you, we'll say, one of you need to be a leader. One of you are going to have to be the person to follow. Who would like to lead?
Maxine can't follow. Maxine has to lead.
Nicole's.
Accusations.
Look at that, she trusts you. That says a lot. Okay, so Maxine, you're going to go out there. Okay, Stephanie, take her into that room there. Yes. Right, okay. And you're going to put that blindfold on, and then we'll come get you. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're all going to leave the room. No. Joking. Okay, Stephanie. So this is a small microcosm of communication. This is a great activity for you to do with your employees or with the other people you work with, your executives. If there's an issue with communication, this will expose it. But you're going to be fabulous doing this. Yes. But really, this also shows what is your communication style. What we're going to do is, when Maxine comes back in, she's going to be blind.
Nicole.
Excuse me, Nicole. When Nicole comes back in, Maxine, Nicole's going to come back in blindfold. And what Maxine's going to have to do is through words, you cannot touch her, you cannot move from that spot. And we're going to get her to do this. This is how it's going to be preset. One chair here, and in the corner is a teddy bear. This is what we want. That's it. Now you might be like, Cassie, that's so simple. I'm like, it might be a little difficult when you're blindfolded, right? We're going to talk about the experience of that afterwards and see how this relates to everything. But first, let me put this back and then we'll move Nicole into place. Great. This is here.
Is the chair also to be moved here?
Question?
Is the chair to be moved here?
Yes. So that final position is your final vision for the day. Chair here, the teddy bear in the chair.
The layout of the task.
Absolutely, right? Very true. So let's say you stand here.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So again, you cannot move. It's only your words. Wonderful. Yeah. Nicole.
This is so hard.
I know, darling. Here, I have you. So here, we're going to spin you around, Nicole.
Now, this is horrible.
You are wonderful, first of all. You are wonderful. Here, so let's go this way. Don't worry, I'm taking care of you. Take about 5 steps. Wonderful. Great, let's stand right here. So all you're going to do here,
Okay.
you're going to listen to Maxine
Okay.
and do exactly what Maxine says.
Okay.
Hello, Nicole. Come toward me. Come toward my voice. Just move forward 2 steps, and I'll tell you when to pause. Keep coming. Keep coming. Pause. Now, I'd like you to turn to your left. Not that much, a little less. Excellent. Move forward 2 steps, and you'll find that there's a chair in front of you. Put your hands down. There you go. Touch it. It's right under your fingers. Put your hands down. Oh, yes. Excellent. Now I'd like you, it's on wheels, to move it toward me. So you're going to come forward. That's right. Toward me. Now, straight toward me. Follow my voice. Excellent. Keep coming. You're doing terrific. Right on. A little more. Just a little more. Stop. Now, take this to your left. Just about a chair's length or two. Keep going. Move it to your left, and I'll tell you when to pause. Again, a little more. A little more toward me because it's really on an angle. That's right. A little bit further back. Yes, there you go. Stop. One more task. We have a friend, a big white bear, that needs to be sitting in his chair, and we have to find him. Okay? Now,
I'm sure wasn't it? I'm not done.
and neither am I. We're multitasking.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'd like you to turn around. Turn around. Let go of the chair. We have done here. A little bit to your left. Tiny bit. No, I mean your body. Turn slightly to your left. Back to your right. The other left. Less than that, my dear. Okay, now walk forward, please. And I'll tell you when to pause. You're doing a terrific job. Trust yourself. Stop. You need to recalibrate a little to the right. That's better. Keep going. Move forward. A little more to the right. That's right. Now, move forward again. Stop. Make a left. Turn your body to the left. A little bit further to the right. Tiny bit. One step over. That's right. Now go forward. Please. Go forward slowly. You're doing fabulously. 2 more steps. Now reach down and you'll find a fuzzy guy under your fingers. Trust me. And trust yourself. You're doing a fabulous job. Excellent. Now, turn a little more because we have to negotiate around the seated people. Come on. You're going to bring him and put him in the chair, and then we're finally done with the task. Got it? You're going to move to your left. Side step. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Move toward me. Straight forward. You're doing fabulous, and so is our teddy friend. Does he have a name? He should. Okay. One more. Turn to your left, and you'll be directly in front of the chair. Turn him around. Move forward. Move forward 1 step. There you go. And put him in the chair. Not off the chair, but in the chair. It's one of those swivel jobs. It's fun. Excellent.
Good job, Nicole.
All the resources you need.
So before you two sit down, I have comments. I'm sure you might have some comments. First of all, what was it like to be blindfolded and have to listen?
I don't care about listening part, but the blindfolded, it was more of, I was thinking about my niece, like I'm going to run into something. Even though I'm listening to her, I feel like I'm still going to run into something.
Got it, yeah. And what was the easiest part to listening or to following the directions?
The waiting for her to tell me which way to go instead of just going. I took dance lessons, and that's another reason. I know when that's my lead. So I think that helps.
That does help. And so what was it like for you to give direction?
Concerned that she needed to feel that she could trust me, and that waved in and out from my point of view. There were times when she was hesitating, so I felt that I had failed to make her feel completely supported.
Interesting, yes. So in that moment that you felt like maybe you were failing her, how were you adjusting your language to help her?
I was adjusting my tone because words are only 6%.
Yes.
Tonality's 35%.
Oh, honey, yes. Very good, yes. Words are about 6-7%. This is very true.
That's what she did, and that's how I was like, okay, so I'm going the right way now.
So here's
I couldn't use my physiology because she can't see me.
Absolutely. So here's another thing to consider. So words are not so important all the time because tone is important, and she can't see your nonverbal communication, which is paramount. So sometimes communication, and as a communications expert, literally it comes down to just word choice. So the tone changed, but it would have been interesting to see you change even the whole world of verbiage that you used, right? So we can use it. We'll see someone else try this on. Here's the second thing. Audience. Is this the full vision that we set up at the beginning? It's a little to the left, right? It was set up like this at the beginning, right? So think about this. When people win awards, I always go back to awards because it's a very full moment, and that's when people talk about the triumph and the glory. And sometimes people say, oh, I remember I met James Cameron, name drop, and boom. And he talked about Titanic. And I said, that was such an amazing movie. And he was like, oh, if you only knew what happened behind the scenes. The thing is, what we see is the final product, but sometimes people stop just short of left, just short of center, of completing their full vision. So the question I always have for people when they do this is, what do you consider done? What do you consider complete? And do you stop to good enough? Or do you actually take the time and energy that it takes to complete the full vision? What was great that you did at the beginning too, Maxine, was that Maxine said to me, I just want to make sure I know exactly what the whole picture is, right? Because basically I'm like the director of the office, and now you're someone who has to have a project management team. And the team has no idea sometimes of the full vision. They only know their small area. Very good. Thank you, too.
Thank you for an excellent experience.
For sure. I'd like 2 more people to try this. I need some men. Men. There we go. Hello. Welcome. Thank you. What's your name?
Bailey.
Bailey. Awesome to meet you. And another gentleman? Not all at once. No, only one guy at a time. Only one. Huh? No, the speaker can't possibly do this. Yes, come, Dan. Wonderful. Same thing. Wonderful. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Bailey. So we're going to do this one more time. Okay. But I'm so happy we have time to still do one more. But we need a new task. I didn't plan for a second one. Transparency. So let's see, what can we set up for him? What about this blue bucket? What should we do? Move this blue bucket. Thoughts? What about if it just has to move here?
Or here. This was lower.
Good. Thank you, Nicole.
Now that I've done it.
So you'll have to instruct him to come here, put the bucket here.
Something in the bucket.
Yes, thank you. Something in the bucket. What can...
Those cups. Do you have cups? Or a water bottle. Yeah, a water bottle.
Perfect. And then we'll put... So what about if the full vision for you is... So, bucket... Should we put it in or to the side? In. Great. Great. And we'll do the same. We'll have this one here, and we'll have the water bottle here. Got it?
I do.
Lovely.
Can I move from this position, or do I just try to stay here?
Actually, oh, wait, that's right. It's over here. So you just stand right there. Good question.
We good? All right, Bailey. Side step to your right 1 step. Do that one more time. Now there's a water bottle right next to your right hand. Not take it. There it is. Perfect. Why don't you put that in your pocket? Now turn 45 degrees to your left. Perfect. Great. Now walk towards me. Okay. Stop right there. Side step to your left 1 step. Okay. Now there is a bucket right in front of your left foot to the left of your hip. There you go. Pick that up. Great. Rotate 45 degrees to your right. Perfect. Walk forward. A little bit. Aim to your left a little bit. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. About 8-10 more feet. Keep walking forward, please. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop right there. There is a platform around knee height in front of your left knee. If you place that box in front of on there, yep, right there. Okay, rotate it, the box, one more time, one more 90-degree angle. Perfect. Move it to the right a little bit. Okay. Take that water bottle, and could you place that directly into that box? Is it standing up? You move that. No. Now rotate that box a little bit more. Touch that again.
Which way?
The direction you had originally. Rotate to the right a little bit. A little bit more, a little bit more. Straight. Now move it back on that platform a little bit to the right. Beautiful. Good? Thank you.
Great job, Bailey. Great job, Dan. So what did you, good work. What did you all notice this time?
The choice of his words.
What's that?
The choice of his words, it was very like scientific, mathematical, 45 degrees, two steps.
I feel like I paid you to come do contrast. That's exactly what I hoped for, was the contrast of communication. Yes?
I was thinking how interesting it might be. You had two men working together and two women working together. I think it would be completely different language.
We actually have, we have time to do one boy, one woman, one man, one woman. I was interested to see what it's like. Actually, usually it's a woman and a man anyway, but today it became two women, so I just thought go with it. But yes, you'd be surprised what happens even with that. Yes.
I appreciated the detail because you can't see something and helpful to know exactly where to look for something.
Yes.
It's in front of you, it's in front of your left knee about knee height. I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. Great note.
It's interesting that you pick up the water bottle first, and I wondered with the bear if she would have you get the bear first and then take it in the chair, but that sped up the task significantly.
It definitely did. It was so dynamic. I've done this exercise many times. That was the most efficient use of time I have ever seen. And because of that, those are one of those moments that we see in life where you're like, that was so outstanding. If I had a job to give you, I'd be like, you need to come work for me because you just saved us time, and time is money. That was beautiful. What else?
It's interesting, though, between a man and a woman, where, and I hate to say this being a woman.
And this does not always happen, P.S., because I have seen women be very, yes.
He was very sort of short and efficient, and Maxine was very nurturing and pulling, and both were very good in a way. But it's interesting how from a woman, there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more nurturing and encouragement when it's from the feminine. Then the masculine is much more on the money, right, babe, good job, guy. You know?
Very, yes, absolutely. You have to point that out.
From my point of view, he was wonderfully task-oriented. I was relationship-oriented, totally preoccupied with how Nicole felt.
Yes.
Did she feel comfortable?
And this is what I wanted to pull back, which is both are extremely necessary because we are all very different people. I work in a company full of communicators. The way I need to be spoken to is very different sometimes than even my male counterpart in the company. Yes, but it's task-oriented. But here's the other thing. Don't let's forget, Dan had the wonderful joy of being second. So he also got to learn from Maxine, which allowed him to also maybe be more efficient. How many times do you come into a job, they're trying to tell you how to do the job, and you're like, yeah, I know how to do this. But actually, if you listen, you might be like Dan and be able to innovate in some way. That's why I showed the picture of the small rock. So with the remaining time we have, I just want to do one more exercise, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. And that is, a lot of you have, do we have paper for everyone? We brought out some paper. If you have paper on you, great. You should have a partner next to you. It's a two-person partnership, this next activity. So look to someone to your left or right. Is anyone without a partner? There's paper that Stephanie's handing out. Maxine needs a partner. Who else needs a partner? Wonderful. Come together. Great. Paper and a pen. Paper and a pen. That was so outstanding, Maxine, Dan, Bailey, Nicole. Wonderful job. Also, you need a partner. We need someone else. Tammy needs a partner. Wonderful. Will you come up? Will you, Tammy, maybe go to her? There's actually 2 seats here in the front if you want to sit here. Then you can sit together, or 2 seats back there. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So we just did a small exercise of that. And I just want to say again, Dan and Maxine, Nicole and Bailey, the reason why I said to Maxine is, it's great that she was so nurturing. It would have been great if maybe she added extra information. The way to modify this game in real life is if you find yourself constantly having a problem with an employee, ask yourself before you ask them, how can I change my style of communication? And if you're still hitting a wall, then turn it around and say to them straight up, what do you need from me? Even in my own life, I have many people who are obviously my supervisors. I have managers who are over me. And sometimes, or I have a director who I'm working with, yes, or a fellow actor. And I say to them, listen, you don't know me, so let me tell you, this is what I need. First time through when I rehearse, I am a mess. You will think I have no talent. Let me just let you know this. But let me fail the first day. The next day, I learn much faster. You'll think I stayed up all night, but really, that's how I learn. That's how I process. It's called transparency. You need to let people know how to communicate with you. Because if Nicole at some point didn't feel comfortable, she could have stopped and said, listen, can you give me this type of direction? That will help speed me along. Not only will it make you look like an expert, it will make the other person like you so much more, and they'll look at you more professional because they'll think, oh, this person actually knows how to work with themselves. You'll save so much time. So it's a fun game, but there's a point to it. So I want you all to have an opportunity to do this game. So you're all in groups of 2. Look at each other and figure out who's an A and who's a B. Say, hey, I'm an A, I'm a B. Great. Very good. And so raise your hand if you're an A. Great. Raise your hand if you're a B. Congratulations. So A, close your eyes. It's the honor system. You're going to close your eyes, A. So let's start from a place of silence. Let me give you the directions. So keep your eyes closed, A. B, your eyes are open. And you are going to get them to draw. Now, before you even begin, already notice the thoughts that have gone through your head, but readjust and begin. And you only have 1.5 minutes. Go.
So far, you want to open your eyes back.
Top has a round. So now inside. 2 circles, those are eyes.
All right.
You have 15 seconds. Wrap it up. 15 seconds. Great. Good job, everyone. So, hold on. Everyone open your eyes to see what it is. Okay, listen up. Very good, very good. I'm going to ask you, good job for those of you who came close and those of you who were far. So, and now, same thing, switch. The other person, what is it, B now? The other person, close your eyes, and I'm going to give you a new slide. And then we'll open it up to comments afterwards. Ready? The other person has their eyes closed now. Get ready, set, go.
Okay, now go a little bit down, a little bit up into your left. There, stop. Okay, now put the foot down and now draw it
Just to the side. Yep, all right.
All right, now draw that triangle horizontal.
About 15 seconds, wrap it up.
Right. Okay, so I see. What I can do is do tomorrow.
Okay, time. Open your eyes.
Come on, look, this is amazing. Look at this.
All right. I'd love to hear any comments or anything that you noticed doing that exercise, Nicole?
He gave me an overview. I didn't give him an overview.
Yeah,
he gave you an overview.
Like, okay, well, actually drawing a little girl.
And I never told him.
Okay, so listen to this. This is a wonderful comment. So Nicole's partner, what's your name? Joe. Joe started off by saying, this is exactly what you're going to draw. He gave her an overview. How many people gave an overview? Right? Listen, beautiful. Let me tell you, this is a microcosm, but I'm willing to bet this might happen in other places of your life as well. Any other comments? What else did you notice? Yes?
On the exact opposite, when she was drawing, I said, you're doing an owl, and this is what it looks like. And we didn't get through it at all.
Right.
But with mine, she's like, okay, you're starting with just an oval. All right, oval's done, go to just a dot. Now you're doing just a little arch.
And how did that make you feel? And how did it make you feel having those type of directions?
Like I knew exactly what I needed to be doing at that time.
So it made you feel more confident, yes. And it made you clear, yes. Any other comments? Yes.
So I really appreciated when Tammy told me when to start drawing and where to move my pen. I felt like it was good direction in that sense to know when I should start drawing and when I should like lift and move to the left, up, down, right, and then start drawing.
Oh, yes, of course. That's a wonderful comment. Yes. What else? Anything else? Yes.
I think as a person receiving the instructions, it was going to be able to communicate back and forth. Oftentimes you don't speak that.
Oh, yes. This is what I say, yes. If the only thing you walk away with is constantly get back feedback from the person who's giving you directions, it will make them feel safe, and it will make you feel safer, and it will save you time. This is a great exercise to do with your team, because in a moment you can see how you all communicate, and in that moment, you can deal with, in a very small way, how to fix issues before you ever launch out into the big things. I teach a class, collaboration at Fordham, like I said, but the reason they did this is because when the kids got older and became juniors and seniors, there were so many issues with collaborations. Things would break down. People didn't want to work with each other. And we thought, we've got to teach people basic modules of how do you communicate. So this is something very dynamic for you to do. So as we move forward, here's some takeaways. I think this is something that your company does here. MSD, make someone's day. I want you to make someone's day today. And if someone goes out of their way for you, let them know that it matters and that you noticed it. Because the thought about being a stage manager is that they're more interested helping you succeed than just about being in their own little assembly line. Take on being a stage manager. And then here at Next Jump, I want you to think, here at Next Jump, who is like a stage manager? Who takes on more than just their job? And then if you think about your life, who in your life is like a stage manager? I know I'm my sister's stage manager. I take care of everything in my sister's life, but it's because I love doing it for her. And I know who's the stage manager in my life, a girlfriend of mine named Karen. She loves taking care of the full picture. Those people are rare. MSD those people. Make someone's day and let them know. And the other thought I have is, think about what you do right now here at Next Jump, or whatever it is that you do. Think, are you like a stage manager now? And if you're not, figure out what is the bridge for you becoming more than just an assembly line worker. Here's a great note I have about this, which is, I remember I was running late to catch a flight to Pebble Beach, and I couldn't wait. And I left on a Friday. And by the time I got to JFK, it was too late for me to check my bag, and I was freaking out. And the woman behind the counter is like, and all the other flights are sold out. And I thought, I have to get on this flight. She's like, well, you can get on, but your luggage won't get on with you. And I said, so will it be on the next flight? No, we can't do that. I'm like, what? Well, I can't go if my bags don't go. Out of the blue, this very nice gentleman who's a baggage handler said, listen, you have any toiletries in there? I was like, no, just clothes. He's like, what about if I got you 2 Whole Food bags and you just put everything in there and catch your flight? I'm like, what? I can't, yes, let's do that. This man ran. It took him about 10 minutes. I didn't think he was coming back. He came back with 2 Whole Foods bags. He then helped me unpack my bag to shove it in there. Then he picked up a phone and called up one of his friends who run that gate. It was just a blessing that his friend was at that gate. He said, you have to hold it. This woman's got to catch this flight. Then he makes me pass everyone in the security line. He's like, she's got to make this flight. Then he runs ahead of me, sprints. This is a baggage handler. He sprints ahead of me to make sure they kept the gate open. And then I got on and I got his name and I made sure I wrote a letter to Delta. And after that, I became a frequent flyer mile person for Delta. But in that moment, I thought, they're not using this man as much as they should be because he did more than just his job. I'm sure everyone in here knows the time a waitress or a manager, your healthcare professional, someone in your life went above their job title and you thought, you are a special person. The funny thing is when you do more, people see you as more. When you do less, people see you as less too. So the good thing about Next Jump and stage management is that I feel like your mottos match up. You say better me plus a better you equals a better us. That's the life of a stage manager. I hope you go out and listen, now that I'm over, take 2 minutes when this is all done and go up to someone and say, when have you ever been a stage manager in your own life? If you can tell the story twice, you'll want to have that story more often in your life. Thank you.